So, welcome to Tank Tips number 3. This goes back to one of the most rudimentary skills with dealing with an aquarium, but it's very, very important because I get asked no less than 4 or 5 times a week, how do I clean my fish tank? Well, we're gonna do the most simple way of cleaning your fish tank, which is with a gravel siphon. So, how do you use a gravel siphon? This is the way you use it. Basically what you want to do is purchase a gravel siphon, simple like this. You're going to need a bucket or something to catch the water from your aquarium. And no, you don't dip water out of your tank to clean it. That wouldn't be doing anything at all. So the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to use this tank as an example because it's due this week. There's 2 ways that I typically do it. You can either do it the really quick way, which you have to move quick too, which is to suck on this end and start the siphon. Now the siphon needs to be totally submerged in the water and full of water when you do this. So you can do it that way, get your mouth off of it before it comes out, and then go along the bottom, and you can see how it's pulling up the dirt. Now one thing I do, and if this is the first time using a gravel siphon, is I pinch it. That way I can, with my left hand, control the amount of flow that's coming out, because it's coming out at whatever speed, I guess, it's regulated to come out at, and you can manipulate that just simply by bending the hose. Obviously, if you didn't do that, you would pull out all the gravel, sand, or whatever substrate's in the tank. Now, that's one way to do it. Other way to do it is to drop your gravel siphon all the way in the water, making sure you're getting out all the air bubbles. This end is in the bucket, otherwise the water's going somewhere else, maybe where you don't want it. Lift it out of the water just where you can see the water come over, then back in and flip it. That's the way to use the non-mouth method. Still grabbing the gravel siphon, as you can see right here, to control the amount of flow. What you want to do as you gravel siphon is move in an up and down motion, pinching as you need to control the amount of waste being taken out of the tank. These tanks were clean, so they're not actually that dirty. But what you don't want to do is run it all around and stir everything up while you stir stuff up, but you don't get anything with the gravel siphon. You will cloud the tank just a tiny bit when you gravel siphon, but the filter will pick up the stuff that you're not taking out, and you can effectively go across the gravel and clean it, and it's just that simple. Now, there are other types of media that I get asked questions about. Well, how do I siphon sand? Well, what about plants? So let's go see how you do that. With live plants, you want to take care not to disturb the plants. Now, this tank isn't heavily planted, but it's planted enough, and it's planted with a substrate that's very different from normal gravel because it's very lightweight. It's a laterite-based substance, fluval stratum gravel. So this is how we're going to do that. So I've got my gravel siphon all the way in. I simply lift it up, start the siphon, flip it back, and then I don't go all the way to the bottom. I just lightly pick it up, and if you look closely, you can see the particulates being taken out of the gravel without me over disturbing the gravel. And especially around the plant roots, I don't go real deep in there. I'm just trying to get kind of what's on the, I guess, within the first quarter layer of the substrate. You're not disturbing the root system of the plants. This is a light gravel. Most light gravels, detritus and things like that are going to congest right on the surface or in the first part of it. Unless you've let your tank go for a very, very long time, most everything should be in the upper quarter part of a gravel like this or a substrate like this. So that's the way that you would clean a plant type gravel. Now let's go look at the difference with cleaning sand. Okay, so I found some sand in here, a very, very fine sand that has a little bit of algae on it, so I'm going to show you how to gravel siphon that. Going ahead and pinching it as it's running, you just kind of go along the surface of it. A lot of sand is going to climb in there, but you just have to pinch it in a more finite way as you go across the bottom. You will, of course, take out a tiny bit of sand, but it's not going to be that much. And you don't have to go very deep, although this isn't a particularly deep bed. You're not going to have to go very deep to deal with this at all. That's the simplicity of gravel siphoning either a freshwater planted or saltwater aquarium. Now, What if you have a bare bottom? I'll show you how to do that. Situation where you want to pull directly from the tank, what I usually do is pop the siphon off my gravel siphon. I've got two ends of equal. I'll put one end in, get it started like that, and then just go straight across the bottom, lifting stuff straight out of the aquarium. That's for a more direct approach where you need to suck a specific thing off. This works with hair algae. This will also work with cyanobacteria in saltwater aquariums. You can suck it directly off the rock. Valonia or bubble algae, if you have a small amount, you can do that as well. Anytime you're actually cleaning a piece of driftwood or something like that, this is the way that I like to do it. So those are the methods of gravel siphoning I know how to do. Those are the ones that we teach here at the store. That is the easiest way to begin cleaning your aquarium. We'll talk about algae and stuff in the future. However, that is your Tank Tips #3 video.